Judge.
I'm Tuesdays too. I mean, I will grant you the courtesy of Monday, but I mean, it's not cool that you would defy a court order and still go on vacation knowing that you have to come to court. That's a kick in the ding ding, man. You know?
Well, I understand. I think it was a situation where
I'm going to put you in jail. That's it. No means no. Doesn't mean it's the holidays. Doesn't mean I have a birthday. A court order is a court order. And when you don't follow court orders, there's only one place that we have you go. There's no tolerance anymore. And I don't care what you come up here and say when he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you or you pick up a new case, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand? Okay, guys.
Morning, Your Honor.
Do you have
I have a similar situation to Mr. Johnson. I have a client who's a new DWI arrest. She was a .084, 23 years old, no priors at all. Her cause number is 2512993. Whitney Dela Cruz. The only difference is she is actually out of the state right now on a vacation that she took with her parents to celebrate their 24th wedding anniversary.
So she would actually defy a court order and go on vacation, even knowing that she's got to come to court? Not cool, man. You know?
Well, I think it was a family event that they had all planned and had prepaid for. And she'll be back in town on Monday.
That's really arrogant. You know, I can't. Would you do that?
Well, obviously I wouldn't do that, Judge, but
I wouldn't do that either. I mean, when is she coming back?
she'll be back on Monday and she'll be back in Houston on Monday, and I can have her in court first thing on Tuesday, Judge.
I'm Tuesdays too. I mean, I will grant you the courtesy of Monday, but I mean, it's not cool that you would defy a court order and still go on vacation knowing that you have to come to court. That's a kick in the ding ding, man. You know?
Well, I understand. I think it was a situation where her parents had prepaid for the entire thing for the whole family and didn't want to have the expense of trying to send her back alone early.
Where is she?
She's in Maui, Judge.
This case, Judge frustrated as defendant skips court for vacation. The defendant chose to leave the state for vacation despite knowing she had court. The judge is clearly upset, calling it arrogant and a kick in the ding-ding, emphasizing how seriously courts take failure to appear. Even though the defense lawyer argues that the trip was prepaid by her parents for their anniversary, the judge sees it as an intentional disregard for the court's authority.
Life is good for some, I guess, right? I mean, I'll set it for bond forfeiture for Monday, you know, see what you can do.
Okay.
I mean, I can't believe that someone would really do that and still go to Maui. I don't. When on Monday does she get back, Mr. Mays?
Oh, I will have to ask her that, Judge.
Yeah, tell her that I'm not happy with her. Like, I'm not happy at all. It's just not cool.
I understand.
So just get back, just get a hold of me and let me know.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It's off the docket. I'm appearing for Nathan Mays. It was, I guess she had a warrant. She had a family trip that was booked for 6 months. It was her parents' anniversary. I don't know. I'm just filling in, but I'm just trying to see if we can.
Yeah, she chose to go on the trip instead of coming to court. Basically, what happened. I mean, I get that you know.
She's president of the gallery, Judge. She's never been in trouble before. I understand.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
Can you bring her up? Yeah. What is it?
The trip had been booked for 6 months.
I get it, but that doesn't justify it. You know, a court date is a court date. And you willfully chose to just defy and say, you know, thumb yourself at the court system. And that's not cool. You know, that shows us that you completely disrespect. You don't care what we say, what we think. That's not how we do things in criminal court, you know? Gavel, what's the cause number? You know, it's especially in light that this is a driving while intoxicated case. You know, this is about may not be a big deal to, high-priced lawyers, but to us, we treat this as a big deal. Harris County leads the nation in DWI fatalities. We have DWI after DWI, death after death. It's truly an astounding and a disgusting statistic. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. On June 1st, 2024, officers were notified by the Humboldt Police Department requesting assistance if possible to the driver at 7:36 in the morning in the Target parking lot. Officers advised the suspect was involved in a minor car accident. The driver was identified by her Texas driver's license. Officers could smell a strong odor of alcoholic beverage emitting from the defendant and observed that she had glassy eyes. Defendant stated that she had 4 shots the night prior. Conducted standard sobriety tests, 6 of 6 for the HGM, 2 of 8 for the walk and turn, 0 of 4 for the one leg stand. Officers wrote the DIC, and the defendant consented to our arrest, and the results of which were 0.085 and 0.084.
Okay. Can you do me a favor? I guess look to see what other kind of contacts she has with the law. Does she have any priors, any prior DWIs?
Judge, she's never been in trouble before. I've got a chief approved PGI offer today. I understand the court's concern. She was not willful, and I know how it seems.
But if it-
I know what you're saying, Judge. I'm just telling you, she's scared for her life. She's never been in court before. She showed up today. She's not on docket today. She's trying to make it right.
if it were me, if I know I pick up a DWI and I have a court case the following week, I'm gonna go. I don't care if I have a trip. To me, and I guess other people come from a different cut, but the court system takes precedence over everything else.
I
You know?
agree, Judge. I'm asking for leniency in this case. She's not a career criminal in any way.
In life, Mr. LaCruz.
I work at my dad's company. I do paperwork, invoicing.
It's a non-destructive testing from oil fields, Judge. She's admin there at the.
How old are you?
22.
Did you graduate high school? How far did you make it?
I graduated high school and I just been working for my dad for a couple years because he had a stroke and he needed help with the company, so I came in and stepped in.
For future reference, this is not the way we do things. And if you ever do this to me again, or us, I'm gonna hold you in contempt. That's how seriously we take it. And it's really it's a slap in the face of the entire criminal justice system to tell us that you'd rather go on a trip than to come to court when you're supposed to come to court.
My dad is system and I told him I have to stay here and
Then your father should be ashamed of himself. And when you go home, I want you to tell him that he should be ashamed of himself and that it's not the way we do things. I will reluctantly keep your PR bond in place, or I'll reinstate your bond. I'm going to tell you now, this is the only get out of jail free card that you're going to get from me. You will never get one again. If you ever miss court when you're supposed to be here, you pick up a new case.
The judge sees skipping court for a vacation as a slap in the face to the entire legal process. He emphasizes that choosing to travel over attending a required hearing is not how things work in the justice system. He even goes so far as to say, "Tell your father he should be ashamed of himself." A strong warning. No more chances. The judge reluctantly reinstates her PR bond, meaning she avoids immediate jail time for now.
If you consume alcohol or drugs, I'm going to put you in jail. You will never get another PR bond. You understand, man? So I am going to find probable cause. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. Tell me, do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name?
She has insurance. It's under her father's name. She's on the policy.
I want to make sure that you're named as a covered person. If you are, then you may continue to drive. Until that point, I just want to know that you're actually a named under that policy. You have a lawyer. You must stay in contact with the lawyer, which I hope that there won't be a problem,
There's
but
not an issue, Judge. This will never happen again. It's fine.
I get it. If they come back to me and tell me that you've gone MIA, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. So you must stay in contact with them and they will tell you when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Trace for your bond conditions and then
It's set 6-7. Can we go?
we're gonna
Roll on for a
we'll
while.
reinstate the bond now
All right.
and then we'll just let you pick a new date.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe be excused.
Please. Good morning, Mr. Villagas. Sir, you're charged with failure to give information upon striking a highway fixture. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Okay.
Yes, Judge. On December 28, 2024, the officer was dispatched to apartments in Harris County, Texas, in regard to a single vehicle accident that hit the mailbox of a residence. The officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle with heavy front end damage, but did not locate any driver or occupants inside the vehicle. During an inventory, the officer located the defendant's photo ID and Texas utility bill that came back to the defendant's name and address, approximately 1.4 miles from the accident. The registered owner of the mailbox came back to the defendant of the utility bill and his address. The officer went to the defendant's residence, noticed the garage door open and garage interior to the residence wide open. The officer made contact at the residence, one to make sure the motor vehicle was not stolen and one to make sure the owner of the vehicle was okay. The officer went inside the residence after knocking and announcing his presence several times under the community caretaking doctrine, and the officer made contact with the defendant asleep in the living room. The defendant woke up in an...
Whoa.
Yes, Judge. It was because they had...
Whoa.
Yes, the vehicle was damaged and he wanted to make sure the driver was okay. So he announced himself and went into the residence because the door was wide open.
Wow.
And then it was after that he saw the defendant asleep in the living room and the defendant woke up and immediately said the car accident, that he did not cause any injuries or any trouble, and that he was driving his motor vehicle 2 to 3 hours prior, and that he was on his way to drop it off at a mechanic when his vehicle was hit. The defendant called the insurance company and the defendant walked home because no one arrived on scene, and the defendant was going to pick up his motor vehicle in the morning. And the officer made contact with the complainant, who stated she heard a loud bang and observed damages, approximately $1,025.
So are you telling me that he did stay though?
No, what happened, Your Honor, is that he struck the mailbox at the apartment, and the defendant said that he called his insurance. No one came to the scene, so he walked home. And the officer, when he arrived, saw the empty...
Did he make an attempt to make a phone call at the scene to anyone?
All he said is that he called the insurance company. That's the only person that he had stated he called. And then after that, he walked home because no one arrived on scene. And then that's when the officer arrived and saw his empty vehicle damaged. And then he found a utility bill and the ID.
I have so many questions. Let's do this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer, or you have a lawyer, right? Let's do this. I'm going to hold off on finding probable cause at the moment. Let me wait for your lawyer to get here. We'll revisit PC here momentarily. Just go ahead, take a seat for me if you don't mind in the jury box. Yeah? Let's wait for your lawyer to get here and then we'll go forward. Yeah, come on in.
Mr. Rakil Villagas, Your Honor.
Did you look at PC?
I think we're prepared for argument.
Okay. Morgan, are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
This
This
is-
is Villagas, correct?
Villagas, yeah. Go for it. Okay. Ball's in your court.
Your Honor, Mr. Villagas, when he climbed to the mailbox pole, he didn't stop. He got out of the car. There's no one to talk to. And so from there, he went to his residence, Your Honor. But, it's not a case where he didn't identify himself or anything. And then we don't know what the restitution amount is going to be for the mailbox.
My concern was that according to the statute, right, it says that you're supposed to, I don't even
Take
know.
reasonable steps to locate and notify the owner or person in charge of the property of the collision.
What time? It was just the middle of the night.
$1:50 in the morning.
I don't think it'd be reasonable to knock on anyone's door. I don't think anyone would open.
I mean, reasonable steps. You know where the person lives. You hit their mailbox. It would be pretty easy to walk up and knock on the door.
Is that reasonable? I mean, if you go up to someone's door at 2 a.m. and you start knocking on the door, are you going to scare the?
Probably, Judge, but I would want to know if it were my mailbox and somebody ran their car into it.
Would you open the door and go out?
I would look through the peephole and I'd see,
I
and then I would
guess
see
there
a
are
crashed car.
there are other measures I guess you could take theoretically.
Something,
Right.
I guess leave.
Right.
Maybe leave a note on the door.
Okay, all right. Mr. Biagas, come up.
This case is about the legal duty to inform the property owner when a mailbox is hit at midnight. The judge is making it clear you can't just drive away after hitting someone's property. Even in the middle of the night, reasonable alternatives exist, like leaving a note. If convicted, penalties could range from fines to license suspension or even jail time, depending on jurisdiction.
I mean, reasonable measures, right? And I guess that would. Have you run his license, see if he has a valid taxi driver license?
It's an out-of-state Florida license that appears valid in our system.
Okay. Mr. Biagas, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to drive any vehicle unless you have car insurance in your name. Do you understand? If I find that you're driving without a license and or liability insurance in your name, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? Okay. You've got a lawyer. Listen to your lawyer. He'll take care of you. I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you have to stay in touch with Mr. Famine. He'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you or you pick up a new case, I'm going to revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. You understand? Okay, guys. Any conditions you think?
I'm okay with your conditions, Judge. Just no driving without
Yeah,
insurance.
just
Law
be
violation.
careful out there, okay?
He does have insurance. Can you rip the CW and
Yes.
then we can settle it?
You did have insurance,
Yes.
hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful, great. Okay, all right, man. Take care, have fun. Can you file that?
First day is long.
Hi.
Hi, Judge. Good morning. Permission to approach?
Yes, ma'am. How's it going?
Hi, Judge. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year?
I'm here with Shaniqua Smith, Judge.
Okay,
I can report with an update on it. We have everything submitted for the DWI PTI program. However, Ms. Smith attempted to get the interlock device on her vehicle, but she has an electric vehicle, so she was told that it would not be able to get placed on her car. So Attorney Carter has been communicating with Beetle to try to figure out what we need to do then.
he's
And
no
we
longer
haven't-
here, so,
We haven't heard back from him, so that's why.
yeah, he's not with the office anymore.
Okay, okay.
Alex, do you have any idea what they do with electric vehicles?
So we do have information that she was approved for the DWI program. And then they emailed a procedure to follow. So presumably if she still follows the procedure outlined in the email sent from Beetle prior to his departure, then
Well, the issue isn't necessarily the procedure, it's what do we do when we can't get the interlock device installed on the vehicle, which is part of the procedure based on her having an electric
Does she
car.
have another vehicle?
No, Judge. And I know she has to drive, so she can't do the portable because then she has to sign the affidavit, which would say she's sworn to not be able to drive.
so in that case, it would probably be best to reach out to Brenda Gomez or Bernadette Habe, who's in charge of right now the DWIs.
Hold on a second, let's do that, and then, your client has bond violations too. Do you know that?
No, Judge, that I did not know.
Shanika Smith? Come up. I'm printing this out for you.
Judge.
Who was the other one? Gomez, and who was the other one, Alex?
Bernadette Habe. I can,
Oh, Bernadette, Miss Habe, she's the one in charge of everything, right?
yeah, she's the one overseeing.
I mean, if you want to go talk to her, but she's got bond violations. Yeah, you guys go figure out, but you've got bond violations, man. I don't know what we're gonna do now. Okay, please.
Thank you, I'll step aside, thank you. Do I have permission to approach?
Yep.
Would you like me to ask Ms. Smith to come up again? Ms. Smith? And I spoke to Will and I didn't realize he had already had a conversation with her, Judge. And I will I did speak to Wilvin Carter, and he advised that he had spoken to Ms. Smith as well regarding the possibility of this being the result. He and I spoke to her again just a moment ago. We were out there on call, and at this time, Judge, Ms. Smith, that we were going to have her speak on her own behalf, Judge. So I think it's important for her to take ownership for what this report shows.
I don't care. I'm putting an ankle monitor on you now. If you ever test positive for alcohol again, I'm going to put you in jail. That's it. No means no. Doesn't mean it's the holidays. Doesn't mean I have a birthday. A court order is a court order. And when you don't follow court orders, there's only one place that we have you go. There's no tolerance anymore. And I don't care what you come up here and say, whether it's mouthwash, a tequila lollipop, hair dye, I don't care. And I don't care who you're with. A second violation. Do you understand? Today you will get an ankle monitor. And I'm going to tell you now, it is extremely finicky. So best beware of anything that you put in your body. Okay, no more. That's it. Okay. As far as the other, I don't know. What I would suggest is, email if you can now, Brenda Gomez, and see how we handle it, because I don't know. All I know is that this case is nearly 200 days old, and now we have violations, and I'm ready to put this thing to bed. I'm not going to hold it anymore.
Yes,
So,
Judge, understood.
I'll give you guys to the end of the week, figure out what we need to do.
Okay.
But you're walking a very, very thin line. Do you understand?
This courtroom exchange shows a judge losing patience with a defendant who has violated a court order, specifically testing positive for alcohol. The judge is imposing an ankle monitor immediately and making it clear that any future violation will result in jail time. The court doesn't care why the violation happened. The defendant is on their last chance. Any future slip-up, no matter how minor, will likely result in incarceration.
All right, so Felicia, if we can amend it to put it on today, please. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Can I get contact information for who you said I need to speak with? I'm going to make sure I have the email.
Yeah, so
I can just take a quick
the person looking at
photo.
it is going to be Bernadette Havey. So
May I just-
yeah, you just
Okay, I'll make it easier though.
yeah. And the other person, do you have Brenda Gomez's contact information?
Just make sure I have it.
I don't know if you got this email before, because it has it on there.
Oh,
Take a
okay.
picture of it
Just so I
again.
can double check.
Yeah.
I'd rather do this
Good
now
idea.
than not have it later
Yeah,
if I
no
walk off.
problem. Yeah.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.